When it comes to sales and communication, a key component, of course, it's the numbers. I find it very strange sometimes how a lot of employees don't invest time for themselves in understanding pricing, quotations, the numbers, the cost of different things. And so when it comes to frames, lenses, contact lenses, those are the three major products that are sold by the practice on a day-to-day basis. Nothing else is sold as much as those three products. And so it is your responsibility as an employee to understand the following with regards products. Let's start with the frames. Most probably in your practice, you either are having internal products that are developed by the company itself, or you work with a lot of generic non-popular brands, or you're working with your name brands that are very, very popular. That's one of the three scenarios that you are working with in terms of frames. And now, if there's over 100 different types of frames, or frame names and frame brands, you are not working with all 100. Your practice will have, let's say, 20. So if your practice has 20, it is your responsibility to know that these are the 20 brands that we are working with. If your display area is divided according to fashion trends or trends there, males, females, whatever types that the display areas are divided into, you then, or if it's divided according to color, you've got this color price range, this color price range, that color price range. You need to know all of those prices based on all of those products. You need to know that in the 5 different color price ranges, these are the prices of the frames. These are the trends, these are the name brands. You need to know all of that information. Why? That's the product. That's what you sell every single day. It's not the responsibility of the optometrist only. It's not the responsibility of the dispensers only. You are the one who's doing the invoicing. You are the one as an employee who's doing the quotations, who's doing the pricing. So it's very, very important that you understand your frames, what frames are in the company or in the practice. Here's the thing though about understanding your products. When I was in practice and we used to have the various name brands, for example, I would go and I would go onto the net, research those brands on the internet. I would look at what's happening internationally, what the company that is supplying this name brand to the practice. I would ask them for more information pertaining to latest styles, trends, accessories that go with this particular eyewear. I would ask them in terms of color, what are the best colors for males? What are the best colors for females? What is the features and benefits of the metals frames compared to the non-metal frames? I would ask and find as much information as I possibly can pertaining to that product. I would not leave it to the responsibility of my boss or the dispensers. Once I gather information, I would then go to the team and ask them, hey guys, I was reading up on this particular name brand. I was researching on this particular brand that we are selling, and this is what I found on the internet, and this is what I found, or this is what I received from the company. And if I compare the different brands in terms of our premium brands with regards frames, this is the difference between them, and these are the styles that are in them, these are the colors. And you discuss that amongst yourselves within the team, or you need to know that for yourself as an employee. You need to know that this is the price range of these frames in this category, this category, this category. Why is that important? If a person comes into the practice and asks, I'm looking for this particular frame, and you've got that particular name brand in your practice, and they ask you how much is it, this thing of you having to go to a file and look it up, it's unacceptable. You need to know your pricing that well, because you deal with it every single day. So if you have been in an environment for longer than 6 months, you need to know your frames Very well. You need to know what the latest trends, fashion, any information pertaining to frame. You need to know features and benefits of the frame materials. Why this frame material will not go with this particular skin. Why this color goes with that skin tone. Why this shape goes with that face. You need to know all of that pertaining to the frame. Secondly, the lenses. It is your responsibility. There might be a file this big with that's got information on all the price lists for all the different types of products that might exist. But let's be honest and let's face it. Your practice is not dealing every single day with 50 different types of anti-reflective coatings. You're not dealing with 50 different types of lens materials. There's only a handful of combinations that are specific to your practice that you see on a day-to-day basis. So even if there might be a price list of 50 different combinations or lens materials or lens coatings or lens enhancements, you then need to know because you're invoicing these things every day, right? So you need to know that, wait a minute, for single vision, this is what we deal with on a day-to-day basis. We're working mainly with that supplier or that supplier. Basic lens coatings from that supplier are as follows. Intermediate are as follows. Premium are these follows. And these are the combinations on single vision, this lens material with this coating, this lens material with this coating, this lens material with this coating. And those are the common ones that you deal with on a day-to-day basis. So you might have the main file with everything, but then have a short summary of what you deal with on a day-to-day basis. Then you take it a step further. Then you say lens material, lens coatings or lens enhancements, single vision or multifocal or bifocal, and frame, and combine it all the time. Make those combinations for yourself. Study it, learn it. Make sure that you're confident enough to be able to communicate all those different communications. And you start with the most common ones that you're using in the practice or that you sell on a day-to-day basis of those examples that I've just given you. And then you go to the next one, the next one, then your next one. Then you take it a step further. You include your medical aid. And then you say, okay, this is what the practice charges. Which medical aid pays for these? We might see all medical aids in the practice, but we're seeing the top 5 based on where our practice is located. And so let's take it a step further and then say, okay, those are the cash prices. Medical aid, then you repeat the same process. And you say, okay, this medical aid pays for this. If a person is on that medical aid and they need this which we are recommending, this will be the shortfall. Be comfortable. Don't wait for the patient to come. For you then to look at the medical aid file, look at the price list there, look at what the optometrist has written on the test card, for you to then figure out, okay, what's this? And then you're like, I need to go to the optometrist to confirm. Know your products very, very well. Same thing with your contact lenses. You need to know the different types of contact lenses, single vision in terms of, and multifocals, dailies, monthlies. You need to know that, okay, in our practice, we're using 4 different types of companies for our contact lens patients. You need to know why the optometrist keeps on prescribing this brand, this product more than there are the other companies. Why are patients that we see in our practice more on a particular contact lens brand as compared to another contact lens brand? And you need to know your pricing very, very well. Learn your pricing pertaining to your products. Understand that why is this important? You need to understand that your practice has targets as well. There's practice goals, monthly targets, yearly targets. And so as a team or as an employee, you need to know that, okay, guys, what is our monthly target? If you're in a practice that wants you to know that information, what is our monthly target? Okay. If I just had to do a breakdown of how many patients who would be on single vision that we will need to see in order to reach that target, we will need to prescribe the following for these individuals. and it means we will need to see 100 single vision patients with various tints and coatings on this price range of frames. Then you take it a step further. If we then look at not volumes but the quality, then we're looking at, okay, but wait a minute, instead of seeing 100, we can see 50 and prescribe the following for them. Oh, wait a minute, we can see 20 and prescribe the following. What is the best way for us to get to our target that we have set as a practice? Then you look at, okay, if we are operating here and providing this service and these products that we are rendering as solutions or management solutions to patients, then it means we will get to the number quickly. How many patients do we need to see per day for us to get to the number? And what should those patients be purchasing in order to get that? Here's the thing. I used to work as a sales rep. And part of a sales rep is we would be given targets. They would tell us that this is the overall target for your territory, Obi. And in that territory, this is the target that we have put in place. I had about 19 different individual products that I was selling in my territory. And so they had a target that I was supposed to reach for all 19 individual products. And so I knew that, okay, this is my number there, that's my number there, this is my number there, this is my number there. And there was two ways about it. Either I'm focusing on the main target for the month and I'm just selling what I need to sell to get to that. Or I wanted my customers to buy across all 19 range of products that I was selling, and how many individual products that each customer will need to purchase for me to get my individual products target that will make up my monthly target. But either way, I was very clear on, wait a minute, this is my main product. And currently out of 300 customers, I've got only 50 of them that are buying continuously on my main product. But what would happen if I increase my number from 50 to 100? That will mean that I will get to my number in half this time. And if I can increase to 50% of my customers all buying regularly so that's how I would think about my product versus the targets. And we take it further, even the equipment in the practice. You need to know every single piece of equipment in the business, the usage of it, how it works, how do you take care of it, what value is it to the examination procedures of the practice for the patient, the consumer communication in terms of what the equipment does. It is your responsibility as an employee to understand and know all that information, so that when a person comes, if you guys are in a practice that has got various diagnostic equipment that majority of other practices don't have, you then need to understand that when a person comes into the practice and says, hi, how much does it cost to have my eyes tested? And you just say 550 and you're leaving it at that, but you've got a whole range of products or equipment that a lot of optometry practices don't. That consumer is only hearing 500 rands and it's like, wow, that's too expensive. The practice down the road said it's only 100 rands. So why would I spend 500 rands here? That's what they're not going to tell you. They're just thinking that out loud in their own mind. So it's very, very important when you understand the procedures, the equipment that you guys have, what that equipment does, how it works, what value it adds, what is the benefit to the consumer in terms of diagnostic information that we get from that equipment. You are in a better position to say, sir, the eye examination is 550 and this is what we do in our eye examination. We do a pre-screening test and these are the equipment that we use for our pre-screening tests. And this one does the following, this one does the following, this one does the following. That information is what you go into the examination room with. In the examination room, the optometrist is going to perform the following, or is going to do various tests. Some of them include testing you on this equipment, and that equipment. And after all of that, the optometrist then would have determined what is the diagnosis that you have and what will the potential management solutions thereof be. And so we're not only checking your eyes, we're checking the health of your eye. We're probing you in terms of information pertaining to your lifestyle, your working environment, your leisure activities, and all of that in order for us to make sure that when we are managing you with a pair of spectacles or contact lenses or any other management thereof, we have given you the best possible solution to whatever problem that you have identified. And so that whole process can take, we've scheduled our eye appointments for an hour apart, and this is what will be taking place during that hour. And anything else that I have not mentioned, the optometrist will then obviously cover that in the examination room. So, can I schedule your appointment today? You see how I've covered it. I've not just said 550. I've given the consumer a lot of information that they need in order to make an informed decision, so that when they go to another practice that perhaps they're not doing that which I've just advised you to do, they will remember that, wait a minute, I need to go there because it's not about the price. It's about what activities are going to be taking place in the practice when I come in and get my eyes examined. So that's basically important for you to then understand the products, the equipment, the targets, the numbers, the pricing. And once you understand that, it's going to be much easier for you to write quotations, give quotations, close deals, suggest products, upgrade patients from what they are getting to versus what they were using before. And it just makes that process much easier, because at the end of the day, you are a salesperson when you're working in an environment such as an eye care practice. And so never forget that the numbers are very important. It's not only the responsibility of the optometric team to know the numbers. You have that responsibility as well to understand how the numbers work in relation to the equipment that you are using, the products that you are selling, and the targets that the practice has set. And you are in a position then to then understand what your role is as an employee in achieving those targets, what your contribution is. And that's what's going to set you apart from everyone else in the practice, because then you are taking on various responsibilities. You are learning various things that the rest of the team is not willing to learn. You are upskilling yourself in terms of the type of individual that you are at, and it will help grow you professionally within the eye care industry.